I've made more than 10 devlogs for my game so far, and I've decided that it's time to end my devlogging career. This pie chart represents the reasons why I'm stopping. The smallest slice goes to draining comments. These are comments like, how did you do this or that? And please make a tutorial. I don't like these comments because I feel like an ass for not helping people, but at the same time, I know I can't waste my time helping strangers. It will just lead to burnout, and I will not get anything in return. Really obvious suggestions like, particles are missing. No ship, Sherlock. Everything you see is still in development. Or, you should add multiplayer, as if it's trivial to implement it. I'm sure all these people mean well, but it's very frustrating because you can't see what I imagine in my head. I know someone in the comments is going to say that I should be grateful I even get comments at all, and that I should appreciate the fact that people show interest in my game. And you're not wrong, but it still doesn't change how I feel about such comments. Probably the worst comments are the ones asking me to share my project files. I've spent years learning game development from zero. I've put years of blood, sweat and tears into this project. And you want me to share my project files? Would you like me to send you my PC too, so it's easier for you to get started? How about unlimited assistance 24/7? Would you like my bank account info too? The audacity some people have. Even if I shared my project with you, you wouldn't know what to do with it, because if you can't figure out how to do it on your own, it means you don't have enough experience. It's like trying to run before you know how to crawl. I probably come off as an arrogant person who thinks he's a genius. I'm not, and the game I'm working on isn't extremely complex. I've already given plenty of information in my devlogs for someone with the experience to piece it together. I didn't rely on tutorials or someone else's project files to make my game, which means you don't have to either. All you need is practice and to stop relying on tutorials. Tutorials should only be used to learn how the software works and for basic stuff like variables and interfaces. Trust me, I used to implement stuff I saw in tutorials, but as soon as it broke, I was lost and didn't know how to fix it. Overall, such comments don't play a huge role in this decision. That's why they get the smallest slice, but I will definitely not miss them. Pressure to show progress. There are huge time gaps between my devlogs because I usually upload whenever I think I have enough content for a video. But that doesn't mean I don't feel the pressure to upload. I know there are people looking forward to each video. The time gap isn't actually what bothers me the most, it's the fact that I might not have enough content for a visually appealing or interesting devlog. It might be very technical, or I might have spent a lot of time on boring stuff like optimization and cleanup that isn't worth showing. I obviously want my devlogs to do well, otherwise what's the point? And the more technical it is, the worse it performs, because you guys like to look at pretty colors and explosions, and I don't blame you. Devlogs should be entertaining. Often I think I'm not progressing fast enough. What's even worse is that I might create a perception that the game is closer to being finished than it actually is, which creates anxiety. Then there are situations like, damn, I've added so many features, but forgot to record the process. And now I have to figure out how to make it interesting for viewers, instead of just saying, last time the player couldn't jump, but now he can. Thanks for watching. Or when I do decide to record it, it feels like a waste of time and unnecessary wear on my SSD. Skewed priorities. Instead of working on what I should, I focus on what I think my viewers would enjoy the most, or what's needed to make the video tell a complete story or make sense. For example, I was working on different handling for various surfaces, like mud. Now I need to adjust how the car handles when driving in the mud. Then I need to add mud particles, otherwise someone might comment that particles are missing. The wheels should also accumulate dirt to make it look convincing. I don't think showing the handling changes alone would be very interesting to watch. Often to showcase a feature I need to either break it in some way or add code that I'll have to remove afterward. Or I end up polluting the project by creating additional assets just for the devlog. Expectations. I'd say that 95% of the comments are positive and encouraging. The problem is that comments like, I can't wait to play this game, it's going to be so fun, or better than blank game, create really high expectations. I'm already a perfectionist, which is both a blessing and a curse, but such comments make me question if the game really is as fun as people expect it to be. What if it isn't? This can really slow down development because I want to ensure that all expectations are met, which leads to me making something different from what I imagined at the beginning of development. I think it's better to be a little delusional and have all the confidence in the world that the game is going to be awesome. This is going to sound a bit weird, but I actually prefer negative comments because they motivate me to silence the critics. Don't get me wrong, I'm thankful for all the support and I don't want you to start posting nasty comments instead. I think it's a lot easier to blow people away when they don't expect much from you. It's not worth it. I don't think devlogs are the optimal way to ensure the game's success. If I created the Steam page now, I could probably get a couple hundred wishlists. Out of those, let's say 200 wishlists, maybe 20% would buy the game, because most of my audience consists of, well, game devs. It's better to just post GIFs and short clips either on YouTube or pretty much everywhere else. It would save me a lot of time too. The reason I'm not doing it now is because I first want to launch a store page, otherwise it's a bit pointless. What about all these popular game devs on YouTube who have hundreds of thousands of subscribers? Their games are probably doing well. Most of these game devs make games that are specifically designed for YouTube. They're short and simple and often rely on wow factor or a gimmick like I made GTA 6 in 2 weeks or something like that. It's more like a show than a devlog. And I have nothing against that, but that's not what I'm doing or would want to do. And this show is more important than the game itself. That's what's actually generating the money. False gratification. This is the biggest reason why I don't want to make devlogs anymore. Honestly, I could live with all the previous issues, but this one really affects my morale. Every time I upload a devlog, I get this false sense of accomplishment, and the worst part is that it makes it harder to get back into development. I think about all the work I still have to do. I guess the devlogs trick me into thinking that the job is done. I also don't want to share every single aspect of my game before it's finished, because I might share something that will eventually get cut, like first-person shooter gameplay. Most of you were understanding when I broke the news, but there were many disappointed people too. The last 2 bits of information I will share about my game are that I've been making buildings and plans for the environment, and that it's going to be an open world game. I conducted a poll about this some time ago, and even though most of you voted for a linear game, I've decided that open world makes more sense for the type of game I'm making. If this were a racing game, then sure, each level would look and feel different, and linear gameplay would be more appropriate. If you're subscribed to my channel only because of devlogs, then you probably should unsubscribe now. The next video related to my game is probably going to be a gameplay trailer. Who knows, I might start making devlogs then, but probably not. I will upload videos about PS1 games and general retro game development stuff, so stick around for that.